Mom made the brand. Free duck. Yeah. I can't stop. I got a grunt trying to make it to the top. They looking at me like I'm crazy, man. Yeah, maybe, but I'm amazing. God made me who I am. Yeah, you know I'm him. Yeah, I'm a king, not a pimp. Driving straight to the. Welcome to Mom Made TV. This is King John, and I'm in here with Kim, and we are at Beauty Queen Beauty Supply in Texas, Killeen, Texas. So, you know, sister, I appreciate you. You are a black-owned business, and I wanted to come in and ask for some support, and you definitely gave it to me. So, what first got you started in this business, and like, you know, how did you get it going?
Well, actually, I got into the industry. I'm actually a master barber and a master braider. I'm licensed. I've come in here for 20 years. I always want to be my own boss. You know what I mean? I don't take leadership really well because I like to lead. So I looked at, you know, what's the best way to stay in this industry? Because as you get older, your hands don't work the way they used to. So I was like the beauty supply. It's something that there's not a lot of us in. We need to be in it as black women, as black men, because we know everything about this industry because we're the ones that use it. So I decided, hey, you know, why not go into it for yourself? So, you know, I did some, you know, negotiating back and forth, and I decided, hey, now it's time. So gave an offer, and now we're here.
Got you. Okay. So I am a person that's big on God, and Mom Made TV usually asks people like, you know, what is their belief system, and you know, do they believe in God? Do you think you can tell me about
Absolutely. God is at the forefront of my life. Without God, nothing is possible.
Got you.
So, you know, I tell anybody, here is holy ground because God made this possible.
Yes. What do you feel about the arguments in the religious community?
I feel there shouldn't be an argument in a religious community because if we all believe the same God, is the same God then, is the same God now, there should be no argument when it comes down to religion. Religion will always have an argument. Spirituality is a whole different mindset to be in. Yeah.
So now, okay, what do you think about the concept of, okay, God, the Most High, I say Most High God, okay, and Allah, which is, you know, Muslims, they have their God, Allah.
Yes.
What do you think the difference between the two is, and why do you think Muslims might, like, kind of reject the Christian God that most Christians believe in?
I don't think that's what the issue is.
Okay.
I think because if you actually pay attention to the Bible, God says, names all of those names. Allah is in there. And he said, above all these, I'm still God.
Gotcha.
So I believe the argument always comes in because when you're arguing over religion, that has nothing to do with God. Yeah, so Allah is still God.
Yes, Allah literally means one God.
That's it. Right. That's what it means. Yeah.
Thank you for that. So,
absolutely.
Okay, so now we have a lot of violence in this, you know, world, especially in the black community. And, you know, I know a lot of times people come into this thing where we like, let's unite as black people, and that's, you know, that's good. But we also know that there's a lot of black people that's amongst us that's hurting us. What do you think about that concept? And like, how do we handle the black on black violence that we have?
Okay, well, I think black on black violence is something that's been systemically put inside of us during slavery. We were already, all we had was us, but we were pitted against each other. You know, from one slave master to another. You're not gonna come over here, you know, your slaves ain't gonna come here and mess with my slaves. Right. So automatically, when we were brought here and put that divide there, and then as history went on, and you know, the Tuskegee experiments, you know, when the Black Wall Street, when all those things happened, that wasn't a divide for us. But it was easier to say it was you or me opposed to a white person. Okay. So now that's where we as black people have to get out of that mindset that you're against me or I'm against you. Or there has to, the jealousy there has to be defeated. Right. In order for the black on black violence to stop, because I'm not in competition with you. And I think that's where a lot of us as black people can get a lot further ahead when we realize that we've pretty much been brainwashed for years for me to look at you as a black man as my enemy. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Or a black woman as my enemy, or a light-skinned person, or a dark-skinned person. We didn't do that to us. So, however, we have to change it for us.
If you guys, so it's a concept that exists. So like, there might be a neighborhood where there's like a local, let's say, drug dealer.
who actually like runs the neighborhood, like got the kids and everything, like working for him, and you know what I'm saying. And he don't care about nothing but his money. At that point, if someone comes in trying to change that environment, and he like, oh, I want him dead, what do we do about stuff like that?
You know what, I don't know, because that's a position that society has black people okay with.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing we're good enough to be at, is drug dealers, pimps, pushers. That's been the only thing that society has allowed us to be okay with.
Yeah.
So they say, you want to drive that person out of the neighborhood. However, that person is a part of the neighborhood because he's been positioned there to kill the people in his neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you have to think, in reality, if I do Fed time, 7 years for a drug charge, they're going to let me back out. And I'm going to go back to the same thing. And they know, guess what they're going to do? They're going to allow me to build up a case against myself again, damaging to me and my community, because I'm not just killing me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go back to prison.
Yeah.
And then when I go back to prison, they're going to get some more free money and labor off of me. But then you're just going to let me right back out. There's no reform for it.
Right.
So now in reality, if that big, dope pusher or whatever, whoever's doing this, really, if he goes into prison and he's reformed and actually being taught that, there's so much more to life than you just pushing drugs, and you can really make some good money if you go to a trade school or something like that. That's the only way that part will change in our community.
Right. So I just feel like, yeah, that maybe then we should be more, because the problem is that there is street rules and things like that. Like, for example, like no snitching.
Yeah.
What we do about the no snitching rule? Like, how do we deal with the fact that, like, okay, somebody get killed in any neighborhood, and then everybody knows who did it, but they're allowing that person to like still roam around and not do nothing about it. Right.
That's the fear. It's better to keep us subjected under fear than anything else. But God said He didn't give us a spirit of fear, but one of power, love, and a sound mind.
Right.
So if you know that, then that you can walk differently and operate differently.
Right.
If you don't, then you'll stay in that same mindset and think that it's okay for me to cover up or put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it's easy for me, okay, well, I don't know anything about it, or I don't discuss it, or don't ask, don't tell, I didn't see anything. Because you're in fear. When in reality, if you eliminate what the fear is, then everybody will be a lot more peaceful in the surrounding area.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So what advice would you give to kids, like from the ages of 13, let's say?
Love yourself first. Don't seek validation in other people. Let go of your trauma, your hurt, past traumas, whatever. Focus on yourself. Love yourself first before you can try to love anybody else. And head up, chest out, chin up.
Right.
That's what I would do. Love yourself first.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's like always, I got a daughter, she's 18, and I got a son who's 16. So I look at that and I always tell them the things that people didn't tell me. Right. So I say that to anybody. I say 13 on up to even now, I'm 40. I would say that self-love is the key. Because if you love yourself the way that God loves you, you'll be able to love everybody else and love yourself so you don't make bad or poor choices.
Gotcha.
Hello.
How are you?
How you doing?
How are you?
You looking for anything in particular today?
No, I'm going to just looking.
All right. By all means, if you have any questions, just let us know.
That changes.
Yeah. We're new owners.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
ma'am.
okay.
Absolutely.
Here.
Oh, that's fine. We love having you back.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think that was a great answer. So one last question I ask you. If you had to give a message into the entire world right now that you feel like that can help the world become a better place, what would that entire message be?
Accept God. Acknowledge Him that He's the Alpha and the Omega. I would tell the world that. Surrender to God, because every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that He's God. So put God first, and then He'll give you a peace that surpasses all understanding.
Gotcha.
That's it. God first, and then everything else will fall into place.
Okay. Thank you. So that's actually all the questions I have for you, and I definitely appreciate you. This is Mom Made TV, so definitely I will be trying to support as much as possible. And I appreciate your time.
Support goes both ways.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a good day.